All right, we are recording now, and we are officially starting week 3 of Bloom Where You Were Planted. Let me make sure my phone is on silent. All right, so this is officially the last week of any sort of training. Next week is more of Q&A on anything that we haven't gone over. You can ask. But tonight is about consistency and just being authentic. So we kind of touched base with consistency a lot over the last 2 weeks, but I think that consistency isn't brought up enough. You hear us talk about it, but we need to show you, meaning consistency with Facebook posts. You should be posting every single day on some sort of social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever it is, whatever that fits your fancy, that is what you need to be posting on. And utilize Instagram stories if you have those stories. The best thing about Instagram stories is you can actually see who's seeing your post. Let me show you, for example. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it, but we'll try. So this is my summer flash sale that I posted to let all my customers know, or Instagram followers who aren't a customer know, hey, there's a huge up to 85% off sale. And I have 144 people who saw it, okay? That does not mean every single one of them wants to buy, but those people are watching. Those people are seeing what I'm posting. And those people could be potential customers, potential hostesses, potential recruits, everything. Or those people may know somebody who needs Scentsy in their life. But there are ways for you to actually see who is viewing your stuff. Now, that doesn't mean just go and post and not post for another few weeks. No, post every single day, at least every other day of some sort. Posting not just Scentsy stuff, but recognition from your leaders. If you get something from your leader, I want to see it on social media, because everybody should be seeing what you're doing and that you're accomplishing big things, and you're your biggest cheerleader. Share that. Stay consistent with that so they see that you are growing, that you're actually doing something pretty serious in this business. Every single time I do a phone call, or I even do video chats with some of my customers, what do they see? They see this. They see my current awards. They see Heidi and Orville with me. They see that this is my job. This is my everyday job, my 9 to 5, as some people like to say. But the cool thing is that I can be kind of businessy up top and wear my sweatpants with my slippers at the bottom. They'll never know. But consistency with posting is the number one thing. Because if you're not telling them that you are still with Scentsy, then they're not going to know. If you aren't telling them or asking them to join your team consistently, sharing the join opportunity, they're not going to think that you're taking this seriously. People want to be asked. They're not just going to come up to you all the time and be like, hey, I want to join your team. That does happen. I'm going to be honest. That happens to me a lot more now, but I'm also almost 7 years into this business with a lot of consistency under my belt. So people know that I mean business with this. And if you just joined and you're over here like, nobody wants to join my team, well, of course not, honey. They want to see that you are going to stick around and that you're not just going to jump from one direct sales company to another or do 5 at the same time. And if you are doing that, we got another issue to talk about. But stick with Scentsy, and I promise you, amazing things happen. Okay, so not just posting on social media. I know that's the big thing, but behind the scenes is what's really going to matter. Follow-ups. If you don't have any kind of follow-up system, then you need to do something. I am still trying to make mine perfect. It'll never be perfect, but I have my own way of following up with my customers because I have such a great relationship with about 90% of them. So I will call them, I will text them, I will send them a Facebook message. I will send them, a lot of the times I've been doing voice text messages. And those of you that text me, you hear my voice a lot more now. So hopefully you like my voice. But that is me sharing my excitement. That's me sharing any concerns that I have. When someone asks me about a certain type of scent, I will do a voice text back so they hear my response. Like, I can't, when someone messages me about Tomato Vine, y'all are going to hear about that because it's Bring Back My Bar month. When they ask me, hey, what does this scent smell like? I will read the description with a voice text. I'm like, in my honest opinion, girlfriend, I do not like this scent. It is nasty. And usually they think it's hilarious because of just how I react to it. But they're so happy that I'm honest with them. But with, hold on, now I just went sidetracked. So voice texting, follow up with text message, whatever floats your boat, do it. But you need to do it in like a system, whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 weeks, 3 months, however it works. There's so many systems out there that any of them can work if you work it. So I watch their shipments. I let them know once their order's been placed. I say, hey, Jessica, since she's right here. Hey, Jess, I just processed your order. I will contact you in a few days when it ships. Again, it could take up to 10 business days because those are Scentsy standards, but it could come sooner, so be looking out for the UPS truck. Super fun, super simple, nothing crazy. So I see that their stuff is shipped, and I'm like, hey, or I'll send them like a little voice text or like a little picture of me with like excitement, like from Snapchat or whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh, your order just shipped. Be looking out for that UPS truck. And then usually they're all excited. I see that their stuff has been delivered. I give it at least 2 days after it's been delivered. And you might want to check on your customers because sometimes, and I've had a customer or 2 or 3 who have not opened their box as soon as they get it. Like crazy, right? But people do it. So I'll message them or I'll call them or I'll text, however they want to be contacted. That is what I do. And I say, hey, Jess, I saw that your order was delivered on Monday. What day is it today? Today's Monday. Okay, so Friday. I saw that your order was delivered Friday. How do you like your new bars? I'll say specific bars like Give Me Passion Flower. Have you smelled that? That's one of my favorites. Have you pulled out that counter clean of yours yet? Blue Grotto is my jam. And sometimes they say, I haven't tried it yet. Sometimes they say, oh my God, I love the scent so much. I'm going to need it in my next order. Perfect. 2 weeks goes by. Okay. I check and I ask how they like their stuff. This is consistency, guys. This is a lot, I know, but this is what will bring in the biggest income that you want. Will make your business grow. 2 weeks comes by. I go and I say, hey, just check it in, see how you're liking that counter clean. Are you out of all that Give Me Passion Flower? Because I know I need another 6-pack because it's my favorite. Something like that, making it personable, making it more authentic instead of just a script that they get from the newsletter from Scentsy. And then if they don't need anything or if they want me to order something, I'll be like, hey, I have an order going in on Friday. You let me know what you need, girlfriend, and I got you. That is it. And then 2 months later, when I know that they need some bars, I'm going to be like, hey, I know you're out of bars because I know what you ordered last time. And I have a different way of talking to my customers, again, because I know them so well. There are some older customers where I'm just like, yes, ma'am. I have to put on my nice girl voice. And that's just how it is. But the 222, however it works for you, work it. And it won't work unless you are working it. It doesn't have to be perfect. There is nothing wrong with a little mess in your follow-up system. Trust me. But as long as you are following up, it's all that matters. Follow up with Maven. It's fantastic. It's quick. It's simple. I use that too. To the customers that I know are going to talk my ear off, I'd rather just send them something from Maven. I mean, it's just whatever I'm feeling that day, honestly. And I usually do my follow-ups at least once a week, unless I'm doing the 222. But usually if I'm doing recruiting conversations, I'm following up there, making sure, hey, I would love to have you on this journey. You would be such an important part of Scentsy, giving them, hyping them up, making them feel good because that's what we want them to feel. And I know you guys can go on YouTube, seriously, and find all of that for follow-up systems. There's so many, but find what works best for you and work it. Hold on, let me pull up the chat here so I see. Y'all can hear me, right? Or am I just, okay. Someone can't hear, so I just wanted to make sure I did not just say all that and y'all didn't hear me, because that would be terrible. That would be my luck. So another thing with consistency, besides posting on social media and a follow-up system, is staying consistent with branding. Branding is the easiest thing in the world. You can buy it, you can create it, as long as you don't sell it. I know we talked about this last week and the week prior, but it's pretty simple. Get a hat. If you are not consistently branding yourself, again, nobody's going to know that you actually sell Scentsy. And if you aren't having consistent join opportunity or conversations, you are not going to have people join your team. You cannot expect to post something on social media and expect people just to all come in and want to join your team. No. You need to have one-on-one conversations. The perfect example, because she's right next to me, is Casey, because I used to go to her house every single day. And I would wear Scentsy, or I would have Scentsy with me, and she would be like, what? Or she'd come over and be like, what? Smells so good. What scent do you have in? And I would start offering the join opportunity slowly but surely, and finally she got hooked on a join special, and that's just happens sometimes. And she's still here today. So, I mean, everybody wants to join. It's just a matter of you offering it to them. And a lot of the time fear gets in the way. And we've already talked about fear. Fear is just the mind saying that this is going to be really tough, but guess what? You're going to do it. So being authentic. This is my favorite topic ever. Okay. I'm going to shut my calendar now, because when you're being authentic, you don't need a script. You don't need anything. You just speak. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. This is going to be a little bit probably shorter training tonight, just because it's quick and simple. But y'all don't have to be perfect, okay? I want you to be imperfect. No. I almost said that. So see, here's being authentic, guys. Be crazy. Be yourself, but don't be perfect. Don't try to be perfect. Don't think you have to do everything how I do it, or how Jessica does it, or Michelle, or any of our leaders, or Kendra, or Mel, any of them. You don't have to do what we're doing, because guess what? We're not perfect. Literally, I'm going to be honest, we're probably like hanging on by a thread half of the time, because we're like, what do we do? Like, we're trying to figure out leadership stuff along with our business, along with helping all of you. So do not think that we're perfect. Don't think that we have everything figured out, because we don't. Every day is a new day, and every day brings new struggles. There was a post that I had, and that's what I was trying to say before, and I just completely screwed it up. Oh, being perfect is lame. Be imperfectly you. Be your best version that you want to be, your best authentic self. What do you see? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as somebody who is fun, energetic? Do you see somebody who struggles with depression? Yes, guys, people struggle with depression, but you cannot hide behind that. Use that as a reason to share Scentsy, share your struggles, and people are going to relate to you. Do you think that I want to talk about my money struggles when we first started on social media? When I first started? No. I didn't want anybody to know that we struggled, and we struggled hard, and it hurt our marriage. But guess what? Now I'm totally okay with sharing that, because I know I'm not alone in that. And that makes me that makes my family authentic. That's part of our story. It's part of our struggle. It's part of what we've overcome. And that's what people want to see. We want to see the good, the bad, the ugly. And if you don't feel like sharing all that stuff on social media, you don't have to. But I want you to figure out who you are. And I want you to figure out what you bring to this table. I said this last week. We've got great food. We've got great coffee at this table. But we want to know what you bring. I know what I bring. And that's why I'm never, ever, ever going to be afraid to eat alone at a table, because I know where I stand in my business, in Scentsy, and I'm okay with it. but where do you stand? What do you bring to the table? What makes you different than me? What makes you different than the consultant that's down the road? Hold on, someone's trying to hold on. We're not sharing my screen here. All right, hold on. How do I get back to this? I don't know if y'all see this too, so hold on.
Yeah.
Where did this go? Nope, that's not what I want. Hold on, y'all. Okay, how do I do that? Nope, don't want that. Katina, can you take that off? I can't do it from my side. Unless any of you leaders know how to do, other leaders that know how to do this part, because I don't. There we go. Okay, thank you. All right, what were we talking about? Bringing something to the table. Figure out what you have to offer people. This is going to also help with those joint conversations, is what, like how you communicate with people, how you can relate, how people can relate to you, what you bring to the table, and how confident you are. If you're not confident, I promise you, stick around in Scentsy and you will be confident. You will gain some kind of confidence from somewhere, whether it's from your leaders cheering you on, whether it's from Scentsy cheering you on, whether it's because you're hitting huge goals, wherever that confidence comes from, grab it and hold on to it. Because this world will try to tear you apart, but you need to stay confident and you need to keep moving forward. And share you. Share how crazy, how funny. If you're hilarious, I want to hear you, because I love being around funny people. If you are a military spouse, share that. If you're a police officer's wife, a firefighter's wife, whatever it is, share that. That's part of who you are. That's part of your story. That's part of what makes you different. You have something to offer that nobody else will. Your story is so different from everybody else's, and that is your power, and nobody can take that from you. That is authentic. I want to hear or read in this chat what you bring to the table. One thing about yourself that you love about yourself. I want to hear one thing, because that is you being authentic. That's part of you. And that's what you can bring to the table. So if you can write in the chat, I want to see it. Or if you want to be real brave and come unmute yourself, just raise your hand and I'll try to unmute you. We've got personality. Yes. If you have a great personality, people want to be around you. If you are a negative Nancy, I don't even want to be around you. I have cut so many negative people out of my life that nowadays I'm like, I love positivity. I love feeding off good people. You're adventurous. Yes, go out, do things, have fun. People pleaser. That can be a good or bad thing. Trust me on that, Kelly. That could be wishy-washy, but it is such a good trait to have, because why not make people happy? Why not please people? Let's see. Determination. Yes. Yes. In this kind of business, guys, this is like where you need to have drive, determination, and the positivity. You have to. Great listener. Yeah, Jessica, you really are a great listener. An advice giver. Yes. Sometimes that's all. When we are having those joint conversations, we are the people that have to listen. It is not about you when people join this company and join your team. When you are listening to them, you are listening to how Scentsy can help them, not you. Take away the incentives, take away income, anything. It's about them and how Scentsy can help. Let's see, caring heart. Yes, gotta have that. Organized and multitasker. Heather, that's why you're one of my best friends, and that's why I need you here, so you can help organize my stuff. But staying organized is a huge thing when you are your own business owner. Kind of a hypocrite talking about that because I'm not organized. But if y'all need organizing skills, ask Heather. I'm just going to point that out there. Let's see. Super motivated, self-motivated. Yes. Okay, so I'm so glad that was brought up. because that goes into consistency and that goes into being authentic. We are business owners, guys. I can't call you every day and like motivate you and get you all hyped. I mean, I could, but there's over 1,200 of you, so that'd be really exhausting. So you have to get up and do something every single day that's going to get you motivated, whether it's working out, whether it's just making your bed. That's part of consistency. That's starting your day off right. Rachel Hollis talks about it all the time in her videos or her podcast is getting up and making your bed. Now, you have to listen. If you listen to podcasts, those are great self-motivators. You get yourself motivated. Like I said, going to the gym, looking at your growth, that's a great self-motivator. Just, you have to be your biggest cheerleader in all of this, in every part of this. Let's see. Funny, smart, and a leader. Well, you're perfect for Scentsy then, Rebecca. You're funny, but you're a people watcher. Everyone's a people watcher. If they say that they're not, they're lying. That's how we observe people. That's how we figure out who people kind of are with first impressions. I love going to the airport and people watching. It's a huge, it's a big thing of mine. Being creative. Yes, in this business, you have to be creative. That's a huge part of being authentic. Where's Lindsay? Lindsay has a huge wickless powerhouse, wickless male brand. And that is from being super creative, something I know that I'm not, but I'm slowly trying to get to. But Lindsay does so well with, making things, I'm trying to say this right, making things within compliance, but making herself stand out because it's Lindsay's wickless male. And that, I am so inspired by that. And that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Don't do what I do. Stand out. Make yourself different from everybody else. Make yourself different from your sponsor, your director, myself, a consultant, like I said, a consultant down the road. Make yourself stand out. And that was the perfect example was Lindsay, because I see her stuff all the time and I'm just like, girl, you are so creative. And I'm working on it. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm inspired by her wickless male, and I try it and it's not as good, but I'm trying, and that's all I can give. Weird, but in a super relatable way. That's why you're my girlfriend, Casey, because we were weird together. But guys, these are all things that I'm talking about. You guys can all point. So I've noticed this with myself, is that we are our own worst critics too. So we could stand in front of a mirror and point out everything that is wrong with us. Am I right? Raise your hand if you've done that or still do that, because we're human. We are our own worst critics. But doing that, you just said something super positive about yourself. So if you have to, write it down. Put sticky notes all over the place if you need to. Something that is self-motivating, something that is self-love, that's going to remind you that you have something to bring to this table. Because we could tell you every single day, but unless you know it and you believe it, then it's not going to matter. You need to understand that your self-worth is everything in this business, and that will stand out beyond everybody. If you know your worth, you're going to stand out beyond every other consultant that's in your area. I know that's a huge topic with a lot of new consultants, is there's so many consultants around me. Get that out of your head and ask yourself, okay, what do I bring to the table? I'm determined. I'm creative. I'm passionate. What are some of these? Self-motivating. I'm weird. I'm all these things. And people are going to be able to relate to me. So I don't care if there's 5 consultants on my block. I know what I bring to the table, and I'm going to stand out. That's how you have to think in this business, or it's going to just plummet. You have to think that way. And sometimes it's a lot harder and easier said than done. But if you work at it every single day and you talk good to yourself instead of being your own worst critic of, okay, well, I tried that and it failed. Well, it's going to plummet. You need to switch your mindset, change the script. Okay, let me see what else here. We've got, I'm horrible at selling. Oh yeah, yep, that was already answered. You're not selling. We talked about that. You're sharing. And Lindsay's Wickless Mail is how I got started. Yes. See guys, we're about to have a whole Wickless Lindsay night. But seriously, I love the fact that you guys, some of you even went beyond just one. You did more. Now, ask yourself, do you really believe that? And if you do, amazing. But if you just wrote something, then we need to work on that, because that's going to make you your best authentic self. Like I said, perfect is lame. Nobody wants I don't even want friends who are perfect. I'm a mom of 2 who drive me insane. I am a military spouse where my husband's uniform before he had surgery and everything used to stink. I mean, guys, my house may look good on social media, but it is a hot mess half of the time. There's closets full. See? That's how I do it. That is my life. And if anyone who comes to my house or who's ever been to my house, they know that. They know my tricks. Casey, you know my trick. But I want to hear from the other leaders. I want to hear how, you are authentic. What makes you stand out? Or, what you do for consistency. I want to hear from you. So unmute yourself if you like, or if I have to. I have a feeling Jessica's about to, because her stuff's unmuted.
All right. So I probably do 95% of my business on my phone or on my tablet, because I've moved so many times in the last 9 years. My customers are all over the place. We've only been here for a year and a half, and I've probably only gained maybe a handful and a half of new customers here, while keeping all of my other customers that are farther away still. And I think a big part of that is I think that customer service and always staying true to who you were before someone bought from you and became a customer is really important. So I just be who you are. I know I keep saying this over and over again throughout a lot of the trainings, but I think that if you just continue to be yourself and build relationships with your customers, they're going to want to keep coming back to you, whether it's to order or to have a party or to join your team. If you stay true to who you were before, they will continue to come to you. If you have good customer service, like go above and beyond for your customers. That's what I do as often as I can, whether it's sending a cent circle in the mail because they ordered 3 months in a row, or a free bar, or offer them free shipping if their order is over $100, because that is huge to me. Like, and I'll do it randomly too. Like, I don't have a list of customers and like, oh, this person's gonna get this month. No, it's just whenever, so that they're always surprised. They're never expecting it. And then of course, I use Maven, which works kind of for me, but I really like to just, like Chelsea said, I don't use Maven as often as maybe I should, I think, because I would probably benefit more from it, but I really love just communicating with my customers versus sending them like a pre-print, typed out message. I think that consistently following up with your customers, and make it different every single time too. Don't just be like, hey, it's been a month and a half since you ordered, so this is what's happening since, like, no, build a relationship with your customer, whether you talk to them every day or once a week, just check in with them, like, something's going on with their son graduating or whatever. Wait a couple of weeks or a month and then be like, hey, how was Scott's graduation? I can't believe, you have a son that's not in high school. Like, build those connections. Those are what are so powerful for your business. And that is why I can continue to do so much just from my computer, from my phone, from my tablet. Like, I'm still working to build relationships here while continuing to be extremely successful with the customers that I've already built relationships with. Phew, that's a lot. Like, on a roll. Yeah, that's basically all I have.
I love that. Holly, are you going to go next because you're unmuted?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I was trying to turn on my light so you guys could see me. I'm sitting on my porch. I was going to kind of build off of what Jessica was saying. One of the things that I do is when I do message people and follow up with them, I do keep it very personal. I'm not very salesy. I try not to be. And I always ask them, how are you doing? I try to think of things that they've posted on Facebook or things that we've talked about that's going on with their lives or whatever. And I bring that up. And, I just try to strike some kind of a conversation. Doesn't have to be huge or even a conversation at all, just so that they know that I do think about them. They're more than just a customer to me, that I'm paying attention to what's going on in their life. If I expect them to support me and my family, then I need to emotionally, mentally support them, or however you want to look at that. So yeah, definitely like always make it personal. Do that consistently. Don't just do it once. That's how you build the relationship. You got to be consistent about it. Sorry, I'm like spinning in a circle. I'm trying to find the best lighting. And then I think it's also important so many consultants are really creative and they do these awesome things like the wickless mail or their samples or however, when people do their own personal whiff boxes. And then you feel like, well, there's a standard that I have to live up to as a consultant. If other consultants are doing this, I have to do that. That's not true. And when you get to that point in your business, great, do it if you want to. If you don't, don't. But Scentsy gives us all of the tools that we need. Scentsy has come so far in the last couple of years. It's crazy. And it's just, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't get overwhelmed and feel like you have to do all of these things. Go to your orders, go back however many months, and, just say, oh, that person hasn't ordered from me in 5 months. I should probably check in with them. That's one option. But, with Bring Back My Bar and all of these limited time options, they have all these sales reports for us. Use them. They are kind of tricky. Not going to lie. I don't feel like they're the most user friendly, but if you play around with it, you will figure it out. And, right now with Bring Back My Bar, everybody who has ordered those scents before, they're on there. Follow up with those people. I did that and I had so many people. Of course, some people didn't respond back to me. That happens. That's fine. That's why we go for the no. But so many people responded and I did get orders from it, and I'm still going to continue getting orders through the rest of the month from it. Now, for those of you who weren't around with Bring Back My Bar previously, I understand that you may not have those sales reports, but you will eventually. Just play around with the workstation and get to learn it and see what kind of tools Scentsy does have to offer. Between Maven and the sales reports, and I don't know, I mean, there's just so many things. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So don't make it any harder than it has to be. I think that's what's most important.
I love that you said don't reinvent the wheel. Even as a superstar director, there's sometimes I'm just maybe, I should start doing that because of titles. I'm like, you know what? I ain't got time for that. Like, I ain't got time for any of that. My business is doing just fine without it. And that's how you kind of have to look at it. Like Holly said, if you get there at that point in your business where you can't do that, fantastic. But you don't have to. You don't have to do anything extra than what Scentsy has given you. And yes, Scentsy has come so far in the last 7 years that I've been around, 8 years that Kendra's been around. I mean, it has come so far. We didn't have all that fun stuff, all this stuff when we first joined. But there are just, everything's at your fingertips. Like Holly said, get to know the workstation. That is your best friend. The second you sit down and you log into that workstation, you have clocked into work. And if people start messaging you, you better respond back. Another big thing is business hours. I want to talk about this real quick. Business hours it's a legit thing. It's just like Target. They open up at 8 and close at 11 or 10, whatever times. I'm just there all day. But when the second they open, people are walking in, okay? The second they close, people are probably pissed, but they got to go home. At my time, I don't clock in till about 9 o'clock, but I'm smart and I have scheduled posts going before I even clock in, because that's stuff, getting stuff prepared. And then at 9 o'clock, I have messages and I'm like, all right, it's time to work. I stop working my business at, usually I want it to be 9, but I push it to 10. 10 is the latest for my business, because there are times where I want to just like zone Scentsy out and be with my family. There are times where I have to schedule posts because of our life right now. And so when I clock into my workstation, I know mentally I am clocking into my job. So that's when I check my messages. I check my Instagram messages, my emails. I literally have I check all my messages when I clock into my workstation, because if there's orders coming in, I need to be ready. But set business hours for your business. Your customers will start respecting you a little bit more if you treat it like a business and you got business hours. After 10 o'clock, you all can text me, but if it's about Scentsy, I will not reply back because I am off the clock. If you text me beforehand, like before 9 o'clock in the morning, I won't respond if it's about Scentsy. But if you say, hey girl, I'm going to respond back, and then the second you're like, I have a Scentsy question, I'm going to be like, I'm just going to ignore it and be like, nope, it's not 9 o'clock yet. And that's how I take it. I take it very seriously, because in the morning I need to have some coffee. I want to sit down with my kids. I want to spend time with my husband before he goes off to treatment stuff. I want to spend time with my husband at night and spend time with my kids throughout the day. And that is what Scentsy it's blessed us with, that opportunity to do that. So schedule posts. If you're working all the time, get those scheduled. Set business hours, whatever works for you. You do not have to have it from 9 to 10. You can have it from noon to 3. You can have it from 9 to noon. I don't care what it is, as long as you have business hours and you actually take them very seriously. Now, usually trainings, I will extend it because I'm training. And I'm training with my leaders, and I've got coaching calls. My coaching calls I take very seriously. I have forms, literally. If you've done one with me, there's forms you fill out before you talk to me. It's just, I take things very seriously because this is my job. And that's how you guys have to treat it. If you want this business to work, you have to run it like a business. You have to treat it with just like it's a newborn. You have to love it. You have to care for it. You have to help it grow. And you have to stay consistent. When you have a newborn, you can't just give up on it. You have to stay consistent and take care of it, right? But that's another big thing, is just business hours. Business hours. So get them started now. So when you're all a leader and at the top hanging out with me, well, I mean, you've got business hours and they're already in place and people already respect you for it, and they won't respond or text you or whatever before your business hours open and after they close. So get that started now. Revamp that group. Yep. Hold on. I'm looking at the comments real quick. Do you only place orders on Fridays? So I'm really bad about having a one-day order. I'll post throughout the week that I've got an order going in on Friday, that I've got an order going in on Sunday. I usually do about 2 to 3 posts where I'm saying, hey, I've got an order going in on Tuesday. I've got an order going in on Friday. I've got an order going in on Sunday. But I just take orders as they come and then I process them all together. If I get enough to give me a party, I just process them all together. That is something I'm not consistent with. I will just post or collaborate and put them all together and then give myself some free and half off stuff. Give myself all the bath bombs because that's what I want. But yeah, I mean, just do what works best. It does not have to be perfect. I'm going to say it again. Perfect is lame. Don't be lame, guys. if you have a group page, just stay consistent on that page. I get a lot of posts or questions, messages, all that is how do you keep up with all these pages? Scheduled posts. There you go. There's your answer. Scheduled posts. You know that like break time before 9 o'clock in the morning? That's usually when I'm scheduling posts for tomorrow. Like I already have stuff scheduled tomorrow, and I have scheduled stuff post for what today? Wednesday, because we have appointments and stuff. We've got things going on those next 2 days. So I've already prepped myself for the week. If you guys want, I started doing on Sundays where I start scheduling posts. I'm getting consistent with that. I'm working on it. It's not perfect, but I try to sit down for at least an hour and get my stuff scheduled for the week. And that also includes my huge calendar thing that I got going on here. I'm trying to be organized. Trying to be like Heather over here. I'm working on it. It's getting there. But if you want, you can schedule posts on Sunday brunch, Sunday evening, however you want, and get it scheduled for the week. And guess what? It's that easy. That's you staying consistent without actually doing anything. That's you making money without you actually doing anything. Facebook and Scentsy have made it so easy for us. You just have to work it. Yes, scheduled posts are live. Yes, they're everything. And like Kendra said, you can schedule them on your pages and in events. So there's no reason why there is not consistency in sharing stuff on social media. There is literally no excuses. Spending so much time on your phone trying to figure out how to limit my time and be more present. Casey, we all struggle with that. That's a huge thing. When things start rolling in consistently, once you've really got your business going, a lot of things will start coming back to you. People will start asking for orders. People will start asking about join conversations. But you have to set those business hours, and you have to set time for your family. Because you don't want people to look at you and be like, that's all she works is Scentsy. Like she doesn't do anything else. I think all weekend, I don't think I may have posted one thing about Scentsy about the sale. But that was it. The rest was camping, because my life doesn't revolve around Scentsy. My Scentsy revolves around my life. Scentsy is like planted in certain parts of my life, and then it blooms, but everything else just keeps going. Scentsy's just helping it. So if you're on your phone, I highly suggest utilizing it in a way that shares how Scentsy is working in your life. Meaning if you always go to Disney, so I'm going to say that Scentsy's allowing you that opportunity to go to Scentsy with your family multiple times a week. So jealous over here. So share that. That's really relatable. That's goals for people like me. That people want to do that. People want to go to Disney. People want to go away for the weekend. People want that. And you have the opportunity to share it. So if you're going to be on your phone, then you need to do something that's going to be inspiring and sharing real life things and how Scentsy is helping that. If that makes sense. It made sense in my head, so hopefully it made sense.
Can I chime in on that?
Yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
Days like today with the flash sale and also other products launching used to be super, super overwhelming for me because my entire news was all the same stuff over and over and over all day. So I took that time. One, when I'm at work, I just ignore my phone for like a few hours and then check it afterwards. But also, I took that time to focus on contacting my customers directly rather than focusing on what everybody else is doing, and it doesn't get nearly as overwhelming.
Yep, I love that. I think this, like I said before we even started recording, I think this was the easiest transition that we went through with the sale. We didn't crash the website. There was no complaining that I saw, which is very rare. But everybody pretty much got majority of what they wanted, and we've got all day tomorrow. And I didn't really look at my phone during the sale. I shared it, but I was also prepping for it prior. So I wasn't just consistently sitting at my desk all day, freaking out of what's selling out, who am I updating, No, because I don't need to do that. That's why I prepped and told my customers, if it sells out, it sells out. What can you do? Message me if you want to talk about full price items and I can get it to you for free or half off. There you go. But yeah, I mean, you cannot worry about things that you can't control. But it was, yes, Holly, was so good. It was so good. This sale was so good. I wish, usually there's a lot of mean people coming with sales, and this was the nice sale. So those of you who are new, remember this sale when a sale goes really bad in the future. If it ever does, let's hope it doesn't. But if it does, remember this day, okay? Because it's a great day to remember. We've got all day tomorrow too, which is fantastic. Okay, so we've talked about consistency. We've talked about consistency the last 3 weeks. We talked about how being perfect is lame, and that you need to be your best authentic self. And we got to see a lot of you share what you bring to the table, whether it's one thing that you said or you shared multiple things. You shared what you brought to the table, and that is what we want to see. We want to see that person. And if you're at that point where you are still your own worst critic, then post-it notes everywhere, and wake up every morning and tell yourself something good and be your best cheerleader, and just give yourself a whole lot of love, because you're a business owner and this life can be real hard. So you have to be your best cheerleader. And we talked about consistently following up, branding, staying on social media. Guys, and that goes a lot further than just posting like, buy a 6-pack for $30. What? I don't know. No. It goes a lot more. You need to put a little bit of you into it. When you are messaging these people, your customers, recruits, whatever, do not cold message. That's a big thing that I absolutely hate. I have other companies cold message me, or they'll friend me, and then they just immediately send me all these messages about wanting, I don't know, the newest eye care or eye cream, mascara, whatever. I'm just like, no thanks. I don't need any of that. I don't even know you. I don't even know where you're from. But that's what I'm talking about. Do not cold message people. Put a little bit of you behind it, that determination, those creativities, the passionate part. Put a little bit of you into all of that, and your business will be perfect. Not perfect. It'll be imperfectly perfect. Okay, sorry, I'm reading all these. Okay, so does any director have any other thing they want to say? Because I already have the list of the winners tonight, which all of you who've been on here the last 3 weeks, y'all's stuff has already been shipped out. I can't control USPS, so it'll get there when it gets there. So
I did want to add one thing really quick that I totally meant to mention earlier and forgot. And then when Lisa, I'm sorry, I think your name was Lisa, right? Right?
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Lisa that was just talking? Okay. I'm like, who was just talking? She kind of reminded me. Anyways, be present in what you're doing, because this is something that I still have to really, really, really tell myself. And it goes back to being consistent, because you need to be consistent and being present in what you're doing. When I get on Facebook to post to a party, to post to my group page, wherever, probably 90% of the time I start scrolling. Exactly. And then I have to catch myself. And I'm like, this is not why I got on Facebook. I need to be cooking dinner, not Facebooking. I need to hurry up and I got on here for 30 seconds or whatever it is. But you just have to remind yourself to be present in what you're really doing and make it a point. And that's true in your whole life. I mean, if you're present in your family, your marriage, whatever, your friendships, you're probably going to get a little bit further. But I just wanted to add that, because it's so true. I saw somebody else, a director, superstar director, somebody say that, and they were like, don't get on Facebook to Facebook. If you want to get on to catch up with people and socialize, make a time for that. But when you're getting on to work, that's what you're doing. You're working. You don't need the other distraction. And it's really hard with social media to be distracted. But just try to be cognizant of that and know, like, okay, I need to cut that out.
Yes, no,
I'm working on it.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And I had a coaching call with somebody about being grounded and like knowing what you're doing. So I'm so happy you brought that up. And that goes for on social media. And that also goes for when you are making, if you do samples, cut everything out, throw some gangsta music on and get to work and get those samples done. Like that's what I'm doing tomorrow evening. So but I will not be, I may post something small like, oh, this is what I'm doing, but that's it. And then I put my phone away and I don't touch it. And I will literally sit here and get all my samples done. That way I know I can get them done and I know I can get them out immediately. Because if I'm doing all the things and I'm going on social media or I'm looking at what I've been tagged in or who's emailing me or whatever, I'm not going to get those done. And then what's that doing? I'm lacking and I'm not giving my customers the best customer service they deserve. If I send something out 3 weeks after I've said I'm going to send it out, that is poor customer service. So you need to be consistent and be present, like Holly said, and get those things done. Make money and then socialize. Get on there and work. And like she said, make time to socialize. Work a little bit first and then socialize and then scroll on Facebook because sometimes that's just really fun to do. We're all nosy. It's just how humans are. We're nosy. We want to see what's going on. But make money first. Be present in that. Get your samples done. Do your follow-ups first. Don't look on any kind of social media when you're working because then you're going to consistently stay consistent. See how that works out? Okay. So thank you, Holly, for bringing that up. I love that. Being present. Okay, so this is our second to last list. Yay. All right, so next week is Q&A, and that is literally going to be for you guys to ask questions to us, and it can be hard questions. I don't care. I'm okay with hard questions. It can be super simple. It can be explaining stuff. Whatever your question is, we want to hear it. And we'll answer as best as we can. And if it's not what you want, we will find the answer. So there's that. Yes, come with a list of, like, I want to see a list of just questions, like details of what you want us to answer. Not just how do you start a party? No, we want to know, we want to get into the nitty gritty of everything and answer. We'll answer it. But we want to go a little further than that. Yep, start getting them down. And as you're working this week, write those questions down. If something's comes to your mind, write it down, and we will get to it next Monday. But it's our last week. Yes, next week. I'm so excited because that means that we have completed a training, and I love completing trainings. All right. So this week, our 3 winners are Jessica Cole, Barbara Carlson, and Teresa Lucky. I think that's how it was. Yep. So you 3 be looking out in the mail. It should be coming. It should go out this week. It should, after my samples. So that's that. I think that's all I have. I was going to show you guys my sample stuff, but we don't need to do that. We can talk about samples next week if you guys have questions. So if nobody else has anything, then that's it. But guys, guess what? Technically, y'all have already completed all the trainings because next week's just Q&A. So I can't wait. If you come on next week, it's just gonna be like this. But guess who's doing the trainings? Y'all are asking us questions, so that's gonna be fun. Hold on, just remind me to change my mailing address on the workstation. Yep, good thing, probably because I would have mailed it to, I don't know, somebody in the middle of nowhere if that wasn't your address. So come on next week, and the emails will be going out Monday morning with the link and everything. Your leaders will have it as well. But just, guys, take this question seriously because we are here to help you. We're here to help you grow. We're here to help you be better. But this week, I also have a little challenge. Just because we talked about being authentic and all that. This week, I want you to figure out what you bring to the table. Like, really dig deep, figure out your why, and see what you bring to the table, and see what makes you stand out from everybody, from Joe Schmo. But yeah, that's what I want you guys to do. And if you guys want, share it on social media, send it to me, tag me, whatever, or send it to your leader. I just want you guys to know how important you are. It's not just Scentsy, but to your leaders and to myself. So if you've been invited to these and you've been showing up, that's important to us, because that means that we're doing something right. We're helping you, because at the end of the day, that's all we want. But I want you to figure out what you bring to the table, and don't be your worst critic this week. I want you to be your best friend and just shower yourself with all the good compliments. And if you guys get happy mail in the mail, share that, because those are good. Those are part of good compliments. That's you working your business and being successful. I don't care if you're number 20 out of 20, or if you do your top 20 and you're number 20, share that, because that is amazing. Because guess what? Somebody else was 21. And I want you to remember that. And I know we don't compare. I know that, we are all on our own ladder to the top. But just remember that you're working one step in front of the other, and you're better than what you were yesterday. That is your only competition, is who you were yesterday. That is it. So shower yourself with self-love this week. And I can't wait to hear all of the questions next week. I got to prep myself for this, because they're going to be all crazy. I already know it. So it's going to be good. So this recording will all go out hopefully tomorrow, depending on how fast it uploads. But that's it. So you three, I will be sending stuff out to you, and hope you guys have a good night. Let's rock our sale tomorrow. Woohoo! I'll talk to you later. Bye.